preview our 3 January community meetings. Doing so because I think they are incredibly important. Important for our community to understand not just why we're right-sizing our district, but for our community's understanding of what really lies ahead for us. I'd like to maybe start by saying we will not have a State of the Schools address this year because of COVID. If you'll recall, last year we had about 300 people in attendance. We just don't think that's a healthy situation for our community right now to try to do that. So these community meetings will not just be about the proposed consolidation and repurposing of some of our elementaries, but we will be discussing first the first year of our strategic plan and the successes that we have found in that first year. We'll also come back and re-engage the discussion on shrinking enrollment and the impact that it has on our finances. When you think about enrollment and when you think about our finances, these things go hand in hand with why our elementary consideration for consolidation has been ongoing and why the community needs to understand our process and the work that a committee has done in bringing us 2 schools to be considered for consolidation at the end of the year. And those would be West Vigo Elementary and Deming Elementary. It's also important to understand that a demographic study is predicting that we will lose 1,000 students by 2031. And so we should prepare in right-sizing our district for 13,000 students. When you look at our peer corporations and you think about our size and ranking in the state, we're the 10th largest school district in the state of Indiana. However, when you look at our peers, what we find is they have fewer elementary schools than we do. If you think about Hamilton Southeastern, it's the 4th largest in terms of student population, and they have 1 fewer elementary schools than we do, despite having 3,700 more students K through 5. When you think of the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 11th largest districts, they all have 11 elementaries and we have 18. And the thing is, those school districts are good, they're strong, you might even say great school districts. School districts like Carmel, Lawrence Township, and they all have an average elementary school size of anywhere between 500 and 600 students without forfeiting teacher-student ratios. So we cannot continue, or at least I believe, to operate 18 elementary schools, especially when our elementary schools average at 350 in enrollment. In fact, 8 of our 18 are under 330 in terms of enrollment. I believe 5 of those are under 300 in enrollment. So our committee identified Deming and West Vigo elementary schools based upon a number of things. And so at our meeting, we'll talk about some of those things that the committee considered. Age of the building, condition of the building, their low current and predicted enrollment. Also the ease of consolidation into nearby schools. The redistricting maps we have drafted make sense for the community, and none of the redistricting schools are predicted to be as large as our 3 largest elementary schools. So they won't be larger than Lost Creek or Dixie B or Terrytown. In fact, when you think about West Vigo Elementary, last year we had to evacuate West Vigo Elementary because of a possible safety issue. We put West Vigo Elementary into consolidated for nearly a week. so we have space in our buildings to downsize.